they were lit. Before lit was even, oh yeah, they were lit before lit was even a term. Man, you'd get them, they'd go right nice and tight, right down on your leg here, and then boom. What? God, I wished I did. And I had hash jeans. They were the you know what. On the back pocket, you had a sunset like this in yellow. Hash jeans, bell bottoms. Yeah. I'm telling you what, they were all it at the time. I had a pair. I wish I still had them, but I don't. So, the hippie style, you can see that with the flowing long hair, the bell-bottom jeans. Well, by early 1966, more and more and more people come into this Haight-Ashbury. It's not a very big place. And when you get a lot of people in a small place, what happens? You have problems. And not a lot of fights. Ironically, not a lot of violence, because these people are loving type people, right? Well, what it did do is it put a squeeze on the rental housing in the area. And so we got a problem because people are just kind of living anywhere. And believe it or not, they were normal people that lived there before they came in. How are those people feeling about this? Not very good. Causes a lot of stress. So because of the increased population, the fact there was nowhere to live, and the number of people that were coming in there, relationships between these new residents and these old residents became a little strained. And so you know what they did? They split the territory. The hippies claimed Haight Street, and the older residents claimed Ashbury. They made a split. So if you could provide for yourself and you had a clue of life, where did you live? Ashbury. Where'd you live if you were just kind of there and having a good time? Haight. Okay? Now, many famous musicians became inhabitants of Haight. And you've probably heard of some of these, but as I get older, the kids just shake their head like, maybe I talked to my great-grandpa. He may know who you're talking about. Anyway, you ever heard of Janis Joplin? Famous blues musician in the 60s, a woman who was one of the first ever to sing blues. We'll talk about her later, real raspy voice, quite a story behind her. But Janis Joplin was an inhabitant of Haight. You ever heard of Jefferson Airplane? No. They changed her, did you that, a girl? They changed her name to Jefferson Starship. And the most famous singer for Jefferson Airplane was Grace Slick. Still alive. Google her. Doesn't look quite like she did in 1966, but we all get a little older. Have you ever heard of a rock group or musical group called the Grateful Dead? What's their big symbol? Anybody know? Mr. Tonkovich was really into them, wasn't he? He actually looks a little bit like Jerry Garcia, the leader of the Grateful Dead. But it was I don't have the color photo, but it's a skull with a lightning bolt through it, red, white, and blue, kind of. But that was an inhabitant, Grateful Dead. And these musicians would perform concerts for the inhabitants and anybody else that was willing to travel to San Francisco to see them. So they were kind of famous. Famous musicians. I guess I don't know who your famous musicians are. It'd be like them traveling to a place like this and giving free concerts out when you pay money to go see Justin Timberlake, or what's another skinny little guy's name? Another doofy Bill. What's his name? Come on. Who is he? Justin Bieber. Yeah, there you go. Justin Bieber. Anyway, because of the concerts they gave, they became more and more famous, and probably one of the most famous concerts that was given in the history of Haight happened on October 16th of 1966. It wasn't Woodstock, so. One of the more famous concerts in the history of Haight occurred on October 16th, 1966. And they put the concert together to protest the banning of LSD in the state of California. It was a protest, and I'll tell you about that later. It was a protest against the banning or the making of LSD illegal in California. And it was called the Love Pageant Rally. So this concert by all these musicians that came into Haight to protest the making LSD illegal in California, the concert was called the Love Pageant Rally, and about 3,000 people attended. And groups like, Grateful Dead, Janis Joplin, Jefferson Airplane entertained the crowd, and it was kind of a big deal. Well, I think as some of you realized, as time went on, by the mid-1960s, hate became very disorganized, no leadership. It became kind of a mess because there wasn't anybody doing anything, right? So by the mid-1960s, hate became a disorganized community, no leadership. How's it going? Did you go to Haight-Ashbury? Did you grow up there? You're a California girl, aren't you?
Yes.
You know what Haight-Ashbury?
Yeah.
Yeah, see there? Look at that. Mrs. Gars has been to Haight-Ashbury. Not during the time, though, were you?
No.
Not during the day. Do you need your son?
Yes.
He looks like he's ready to go. He's got a good beard going, got some hair going. He's a counterculture baby. What, you've been to Haight. What did you think? What's it look like now?
Yeah, that was several years ago.
Are there any hippies there?
Yes.
Really?
I think there were some hanging around.
There you go. So it never leaves you, right? Anyway, Josh, have a good day. We're not going to talk much longer here. So, anyway, the Love Pageant Rally was a success, and by the mid-1960s, Haight became very disorganized and with no leadership, as I'd say. Well, we'll finish with this. A group of people in Haight decided, we better get together here, take a leadership role, and get things under control. And that group that wanted to take that leadership role and try to get things improved in Haight were called the Diggers. They're called the Diggers. And what they're going to do tomorrow in the lecture is they're going to attempt to take on the first leadership role at Haight and see what happens. Now, you lovely students that are going to be gone for a few days, we are going to continue to move on. So make sure you get on, because these will be outstanding lectures. You will not want to miss them. Okay, during your trip. Are we going to take a test on this? The last test you'll ever take for me will be on this. Well, sometime before we leave. Why?
Because then there's 80 tests that whole week after.
Yeah, we'll get something done for you before you go. So we'll make it easy on you, okay? Any questions at all on that? Keep up on the notes, you guys, and have a good time in Reno. J.C. Page, you stay out of the casinos.